Professor, 538 has the University of Maryland at less than 1%. How?
I don't know. That's Nate Silver. He seems to have it figured out. So you could turn to ask Nate Silver. But I don't know. This is really, in terms of brackets and figuring them out. I don't know. It's still somewhere between game of skill, game of chance, and
a game of love, right? We all have our preferences that creep in there, despite what our brain tells us. Let me ask you about betting. 40 million people filled out a bracket, or going to fill out a bracket this year. They're going to bet $9 billion. Is what we think, the American Gaming Association, on this. It's more than twice what they bet on the Super Bowl. Why is amateur sports more attractive than professional sports, or why this amateur sport?
That's a great question. I think really what all of this speaks to is that there's so much to go on. That it's not just one game, sort of all in, where you can really sort of figure out what information you need in order to make a decision. It's just sort of all out there, and in this sort of bizarre way, we like getting overloaded with information, and we like to play a little bit of that line between skill and chance again.
I've also wondered whether, March Madness isn't a little bit like the Kentucky Derby. Those are new horses. They're relatively untested. We don't yet really know what they can do. That's kind of the fun of it, right?
It is. And, it's really, this is, no pun intended, all bets are off. All bets are off. So when you have a team like Kentucky that makes this undefeated run, well, now you get into the postseason,
right?
And it's a whole different story.
It's much more the mathematics of a lottery. There's a big difference in the math, the permutations, combinations of lottery betting versus some form of framed probability. This is more like a lottery, isn't it?
It's more like a lottery. And by the way, you're asking that question to someone who studies behavior, not numbers. So I'm going to definitely lean to what you're talking about.
What is the behavior of a lottery? The rich guys do like 14 brackets, right?
Right.
They do like a
that we know
bracket, and, I mean, it's like a lottery. It's like mega bucks.
I have never filled one of these out.
Well, get busy. Get busy and make Maryland win. But, we were just speaking with Anders Core about the lost productivity to this. Let's talk about behavior. What is it about this event that is such a beautiful time suck?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm not so sure about what goes on with this lost productivity idea. I'm much more the belief that that's still a holdover from the 20th century and the way that we used to work, the industrial economy. And that we haven't really updated to the knowledge economy.
Yeah, look, I, for example, am multitasking.
Filling out a
that's a different story. That whether that's productive or not is a different story. But go with it, and it's, you're fine. But really, there really is some need to look into something beyond just what are people doing at work for a certain amount of time and what that output is. And we do know that people need some breaks once in a while. This turns out to be a great break.
Good morale.
Good morale.
When we look at how people fill in their brackets, how do we generally divide up what the head does and what the heart does? We have our own champions, and then we have what we know the likelihood is. How do people fill out their brackets?
I don't even think that they know. It's really, it's really it. And that's part of the fun of it, by the way. I was talking to somebody last night, and he said, I can't believe it. I don't know what to do with Kentucky. Should I have them make the run or not? And then, I don't know. Being not a math guy, the probability isn't really there. There's a pretty good chance that they're not going to make the run. But I don't know. And he goes, you know what? I'm just going to fill out two brackets instead. One with them making the run and one without. And that's sort of an easier way to do it.